Now, as indicated earlier, we have our reporters out across the country, and we're going to take you to KwaZulu-Natal now, where the police are carrying out a major operation in Durban today. Let's cross now to our reporter, Simphiwe Makhanya, who's there in the Durban CBD. Simphiwe, busy days in KZN, especially in and around eThekwini with these raids of late. Talk to us about what's anticipated today, please.
Indeed, Sakina, we are at the Durban CBD as we speak to you. Behind me, you can see a number of basically people that have been, captured as a result of this particular multidisciplinary operation, which involves the South African National Police Services as well as the Durban Metro Police. Basically, the operation, Sakina, is known as Operation Cleanup. The police have been visiting various buildings across the city, trying really to conduct particular raids which have been happening for quite a while now. You recall that last month a similar raid was carried out in the Durban CBD as well, Point Road to be precise, where over 120 suspects were arrested. That's illegal foreigners, Sakina. They were arrested in that particular operation. But this morning, police are continuing with this particular operation. But what we are told, Sakina, is that it's not just the illegal foreign nationals that are being targeted on this particular operation, but it's also the people who may be suspected of doing any illegal crime, particularly in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. What is happening now is that police are busy screening those who have been arrested. And once that it has been found that they have been involved in some criminal activity, and then they will be taken to the relevant authorities for them to be processed. At the moment, we don't know how many of them have been arrested, but what we are told by authorities here is that the operation is currently ongoing and underway, and the police are basically still looking around basically the city of Durban, trying to really get their hands on those suspects that they are busy looking for. Earlier on, Sakina, we saw the KwaZulu-Natal police spokesperson, that's Colonel Robert Nechiwunda. I'm trying to scan through and see if we can perhaps spot him from here. But of course, we are expecting that the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, that's Premier Ntuli, is going to come here, obviously, as part of this particular operation, just to get a sense of what is happening and give us really, the stats in terms of how many people have been arrested and the charges that they may be facing as a result of the particular arrest. But what we have been told is the fact that when that particular raid took place last month, the 120 illegal foreigners that were arrested were really, taken through the processes of trying really to deport them to their respective countries. On my left, Sakina, I can see the police spokesperson here in KwaZulu-Natal, that's Colonel Robert Nechiwunda. I'm going to try and get a word from him in terms of this particular operation that is currently underway here. This particular area, Sakina, is really a crime-ridden area. If you are familiar with the city of Durban, you would know that even underneath this bridge, there are quite a number of criminal activities. Let me try and get a word from the police spokesperson here in KwaZulu-Natal, who's trying to run away from me, but I'm going to try and convince him. We are live, sir, on SABC News. Colonel, talk to us about this raid.
Not as yet. We don't have enough info to communicate as yet, but once we have details, we'll communicate.
Thank you so much. Well, Sakina, there you have it there. That's Colonel Robert Nechiwunda. I was just trying to get a word from him, but he says later on during the day, obviously police will have much more information to communicate with members of the media in terms of the operation that is currently happening here. The Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, as I indicated earlier on, Sakina, has been on record saying that they are going to be clamping down on all illegal activities across the province, really. This, of course, is one of those efforts in trying to address the issue of crime in the city of Durban. Durban, and we are expecting that obviously during the course of the week, similar raids are going to be conducted across the city of Durban. In particular, that is plagued by the issue of homelessness, which in some cases results in criminal activities. Sakina.
Thank you so much, Simphiwe. And perhaps, Simphiwe, when you do speak to Mr. Netchiunda later on, perhaps you could put that question to him about those who were arrested previously and how many of them were actually deported. Just, to get that on the record, perhaps, because we see these raids, we see people being arrested, but what does it ultimately lead to? So perhaps just a question there that we can get an answer to from you later on when we cross during one of the shows on SABC News. And that, of course, our reporter Simphiwe Makhanya in the Durban CBD. And this is, of course, where another raid is being conducted by law enforcement officials, South African Police Service, along with the Metro Police in the city, conducting this latest raid.